We hear it all the time. Americans' waistlines are expanding, especially troubling childhood obesity. And overweight kids are often the target of teasing and bullying. Rebecca Poole, the Director of Research and Weight Stigma Initiatives at the Yale Rudd Center for Food Policy and Obesity, joins me now with advice for parents and children. Welcome, Rebecca.
Thank you.
For those who do not know, tell us what the mission is of the Rudd Center.
Well, the Rudd Center is a nonprofit research and policy organization at Yale, and we aim to prevent obesity, improve the world's diet, and reduce stigma and discrimination that obese people experience.
Well, we know that 2 out of 3 American adults are obese. What are the numbers for children?
For children, about 30% of American children and adolescents are currently overweight, but as many as 2/3 may be experiencing teasing and bullying in the school setting. And this takes many different forms. It's not just name calling, but it's also things like physical aggression, hitting, kicking, shoving, pushing. And it's also something called relational victimization, which means being ignored or excluded or avoided from social activities.
So basically, are these the social consequences of being obese?
You know, there's so much attention paid to the medical consequences of being obese, but the social consequences are devastating. And kids who are overweight or obese and who are teased because of their weight are more likely to be depressed, have anxiety, low self-esteem, poor body image, even suicidal behaviors, and it also affects their physical health as well. And what I mean by that is, again, kids who are teased because of their weight are more likely to engage in very unhealthy eating behaviors like binge eating or unhealthy weight control practices, and they're also more likely to avoid physical activity. And we think this is because very frequently kids are teased in physical activity settings.
Well, what should parents be looking out for?
Well, parents want to be looking to see if their children are sensitive about their weight. If they are, then they need to be looking for other signs that they're getting teased. You know, is the child showing signs of sadness or depression? Are they anxious about going to school? Do they not want to go to school? Do they have a lot of friends? And parents can also look to see if their kids are bullying as well, because sometimes kids who are bullies have also been teased as well.
Now, but parents, though, they need to help the child, perhaps with their weight problem, perhaps by taking a look at what the family is eating.
You know, parents walk a really fine line, because if they've got an overweight child, they're likely concerned about the child's weight, but addressing body weight is a very sensitive topic. And I think one of the most important things that parents can do is to emphasize health rather than fitness. Focusing on health is something that all families should be doing regardless of what body weight their child has, to improve nutrition and physical activity. But when we focus on health and remove the emphasis from the number on the scale, that really removes unfair pressure that children face to look a certain way and to be a certain weight.
And also you need to perhaps push a little bit on the fitness side and just getting them outside exercising, not being inside and in front of that television or that computer.
Absolutely. Lifestyle activity is really important, and I think the more that families can do this as a family, then it really becomes a family lifestyle.
All right, what should children be doing?
Well, in terms of if a child has been teased about their weight, I think it's really important for parents to try to make themselves available and approachable to their child, to have open conversations. Parents really need to be supportive of their child, and one of the most important messages that a parent can give a child if they're being teased is to tell them that it's not their fault and they don't deserve to be teased. And this is especially important with weight-based teasing, because so often people who are overweight are blamed and they're assumed to be lazy or lacking in willpower.
Well, what should parents tell their child who is being bullied? How should that child deal with it at the time when it's happening?
I think the first thing that parents can do is to ask their child how they're feeling about it and whether the child was able to resolve the situation. If the child was not able to resolve the situation on their own, parents need to problem solve with their children, come up with solutions of ways to prevent and avoid teasing incidents. Now, if that doesn't work, parents should really set up a meeting with the child's teacher or the school principal. Many schools have anti-bullying policies in place. However, weight-based teasing is so common and it often goes unnoticed, and so we need to make sure that schools are really taking this issue seriously.
So we really need to push and make sure that they are doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
The other, as we know, we've had several incidents in the news lately where a parent had to really speak up for their child. Now, when should the child, if the child is being the bully, how should a parent deal with that?
Well, I think in the same way, you know, really having an open dialogue, talking about disapproval of teasing of any kind, explaining why it's wrong, and taking steps to talk with the school principal and the teacher about how to resolve it.
Now, I understand you have videos that help address the issue of weight bias.
That's right. In an effort to really try to increase public awareness about weight bias and what to do about it, the Rudd Center has created a number of free resources, including free videos, that really aim to educate parents, teachers, and kids as well about what weight bias is, what to do about it, and ways to really cope with it.
And if you want more information about the Yale Rudd Center, the information is right there on your screen. We'll have a link for you as well. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
We appreciate all the advice you've just given us.
Thank you.
And don't go away. There is more Connect.